Boy was walking alone through the jungle when he suddenly saw something that frightened him. Slowly, he approached and hid behind a rock. Taking out his knife, he took a deep breath and looked again. To his surprise, he saw a dragon, tied up with ropes, wounded and helpless. The dragon was black as night, with sleek scales and green eyes that glowed like fireflies in the dark. Gathering his courage, the boy stepped forward. At first, he intended to kill the dragon. That was what he had been taught. Dragons were enemies, dangerous, ruthless. But as he looked into its eyes, he saw something different. Not fury, not evil, but fear and confusion. He couldn't bring himself to do it. Instead, he lowered his knife. Slowly, he reached for the ropes. The dragon watched him carefully. The moment the last one snapped, the dragon roared, spread its wings, and knocked the boy back. Terrified, the boy braced himself for the end, but it never came. The dragon looked at him once more, then disappeared into the trees. The boy's name was Hiccup. The next morning, Hiccup enrolled in a dragon fighting class, like all the other Viking teens in his village. They were taught to kill dragons, to strike fast, be strong, show no fear. But Hiccup wasn't like the others. He was small, quiet, and not a natural fighter. The others laughed at him. When a dragon was released during training, Hiccup panicked and ran. The dragon chased him down, and just as it was about to strike, their trainer stepped in and saved him. Ashamed, but curious, Hiccup returned to the forest. He followed the trail to a hidden cove and climbed down carefully. There, he found the same dragon, trapped between cliffs and unable to fly. It circled the cove, flapping its wings, but always fell to the ground. Hiccup noticed why. The dragon had lost half of its tail fin. Without it, flying was impossible. He watched from behind a rock and started to sketch the dragon in his notebook. He saw the dragon trying to catch a fish in a nearby stream. It was weak and hungry, snapping its jaws but missing every time. Hiccup made a decision. The following morning, he brought a fresh fish from the village. With slow, careful steps, he crossed the cove. The dragon turned toward him, tense and ready to strike. Hiccup held the fish with shaking hands. The dragon stared at him, sniffed the air, then opened its mouth. To Hiccup's surprise, the dragon had no teeth. It looked almost silly. A small smile crept onto Hiccup's face. "Toothless," he whispered. Toothless took the fish and swallowed it in one bite. That was the beginning of their friendship. Every day after that, Hiccup returned to the cove. He watched Toothless, fed him, and slowly gained his trust. Bit by bit, the dragon let him come closer. They drew in the dirt, they played, they studied each other, like two creatures from different worlds trying to understand one another. Back home, Hiccup began building something special. Using leather, metal, and rope, he designed a prosthetic tail fin, a replacement for the one that Toothless had lost. It took time and patience, but eventually he crafted it to fit perfectly. One crisp morning, Hiccup brought it to the cove. Carefully, he strapped it to Toothless's tail. Then he climbed onto the dragon's back, holding the reins he had built to control the fin. With a few running steps, Toothless leapt into the air, and for the first time in weeks, he flew. Not alone, together. Boy and dragon, once enemies, now partners.